Hey, this is Broadcast Houston. This is a We Should Picks exclusive. Please state your name, sir.
Marc Bazaldua.
Okay, and so what do you have going on with We Should Picks?
So We Should Picks ships pictures and books in the prison system, right? And I'm the author of two of the books that's on the We Should Pick. So if you want to order these books, right, you go to We Should Picks and he'll actually send them to the prison system and to whoever you know, to your loved ones down there.
Sounds good. What are the name of those two books?
One of them is called Thanks to Prison, Operation State Boots to Gucci Boots. You want me to give you like a brief synopsis of it?
Sure.
All right, so the Thanks to Prison, Operation State Boots to Gucci Boots, this is going from being a product of your environment to producing the kind of environment that you want to produce, that you want to live in, right? It's all about changing the mindset. The second book, Raising Another Man's Child, this is my effort at fixing the community. In the community, of course, because we always hear people say we're destroyed because the black family is destroyed, right? And how are we going to fix that? Everybody got baby mamas and baby daddies, so this is my attempt to actually fix it, to raise another man's child.
Okay, so what was your inspiration for writing both of these books?
For the Thanks to Prison book, my inspiration was when I was doing time, right? When I was 22 years old, I caught a 25-year sentence, and I ended up doing 11 years, and my son was coming to prison, and he was seeing me. So as my son in visitation running around playing, I'm saying to myself, what can I give this little dude that can help him, right? I can't give him no money. You know, one thing about it is we kind of pride ourselves on buying our kids Jordans, gold, little chains, little stuff like that. Well, at this point, I'm in visitation. I can't give him none of that. What can I give him? So I read this magazine. It was in the Vibe magazine. It was an article, actually, and it said that the best man that a man can give his child is knowledge. So what I did, I started writing him letters, and the letters ended up turning into a big pile of letters, which turned into the compilation, and which I formed the Thanks to Prison book with, right? And I told myself that what I was going to do is just like running a 440 relay. I was going to run a lap, and I was going to hand the baton to my son, and hopefully he can take my knowledge and add it to whatever knowledge and experience he accumulated, and he run him a lap, and he hand all the knowledge to his son, and we just keep going down like that. That was the inspiration for it.
So this is kind of reminiscent of the Bible. The whole New Testament is basically letters that Paul wrote the church. This book is comprised of a bunch of letters that you wrote your son from behind bars.
That's right. It started off letters to my son, and then one day I actually had like a little epiphany in the day room. I was reading another book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And in the book Think and Grow Rich, it said that there's two ways to get rich in America. One is to find you something to sell, and the other is to inherit the money. Now, I know I wasn't going to inherit no money, so I knew I had to find something to sell. So while I'm writing this book to my son, I was only thinking of my son. When I looked around the day room this day, and I seen all them other dudes, because I'm in a dorm, it was 50 men in a dorm, and I'm thinking to myself, all of them got sons, all of their sons need the same information so we can stop this cycle, right? So I said, well, that's what I'm going to do. It all made sense to me at one time. I'm going to put together these letters, I'm going to make it into a book, and I'm going to get it to everybody's son. At that time, it was like 1.2 million people that was locked up in America, and I was like, if I sell all of them a copy, I'm a millionaire, right? So I solved two problems at once. I'm helping, at the same time, got myself some good money.
Man, that sounds real good. We appreciate that, and that was forward thinking from behind bars. Okay, yes, so what about the other one? What was the inspiration?
Well, now the other one, I had a girl who was, she was down with me during that 11 years I was talking about. So, and you got to understand that she was young, she was pretty, and I think her mom was kind of like pressuring her, like, man, hey man, is you gonna have some kids or something? You gonna wait on this dude forever, right? Because I was just kept on getting set off after set off. And in my 9th year, I got a 2-year set off, right? And when I did, I had to go tell her, hey man, I got a set off, and she was sad. And then she went and got pregnant. And then when she went and got pregnant, and she came and told me, she said, hey man, I'm pregnant. And I was like, damn. I was like, okay, well, we quit. You're like, that's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made your decision, I'm gonna make my decision. My decision is that ain't what I want to do. I don't want to raise nobody's child. I'm too fresh for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm too live for that. I don't want to be the one I got a stepchild, right? And that's where the idea came from. Because a older dude that was in the dorm with me, he actually asked me, like, man, he started talking to me one day about her mistakes. Like, hey man, she made one mistake, and you just gonna quit her, but you made mistakes and she stayed down with you. And that's what planted the seeds of making me even thinking about raising another man's child. So that's where the title came from. That's where the whole inspiration came from her.
Are y'all still together today?
No.
Okay.
Now
It's a love letter regardless, right?
It is sort of, you know what I'm saying? Because it went from her to actually another girl when I got out, right? And she actually had 2 kids, right? And just in real life, I just thought that I was just, again, even though, you know, when you go to prison, time stopped for you. So I went to prison when I was 22. I got out when I was 33. So I thought I was still kind of too cool to be trying to raise somebody's kid and you know, be a stepdaddy. That just didn't sound cool to me, because when I was growing up, you know, you'll hear your mama, you'll hear your auntie be like, oh yeah, that boy got that ready-made family over there, or and we know that's a put down. So don't nobody want to be a sucker MC, and I didn't want to be a sucker MC. So even though my girl had the 2 kids, I didn't want to be with her, and I was just like, well, I was with her, but I didn't want to, like, for her to be my girl all the way. You know what I'm saying? So the girl, the first girl inspired the story. My girl actually finished the story out.
Okay.
You know
Old Testament, New Testament again.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
So she finished the story out.
For sure. What's the biggest takeaway that a man could probably get from that book?
From the Raising Another Man's
Raising
Child?
Another Man's Child.
I would think the biggest takeaway that he would get is the benefits of marriage, the benefits of fixing our whole community, because everybody got like baby mamas, baby daddies everywhere. We start off young, and then we don't realize that a lot of people don't be compatible to us till we get a little older, right? And then once we get a little older, now we're trying to find a mate, and everybody already got kids. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, we messed it up. So at some point, we got to fix it, right? So I would hope that would be the biggest thing that they would take away from it. At some point, we got to fix it, and marriage is the answer for us to try to fix our community.
Okay, that sounds good. Maybe a little preaching in your future. Who knows, right?
You know.
Okay. So these are available on We Ship Picks. How does someone go on a website or make a phone call or online? How do they find these books on We Ship Picks?
Well, they just go to WeShipPick.com. Go to WeShipPicks.com and you'll find the books on there. There are other titles on there. There are other authors on there. He specialized in Houston and Dallas authors. He's just trying to focus kind of on Texas, right? So he done went and found all of the Houston and the Dallas authors that wrote books, and he got them on there and he promoting them, right? And we're just trying to push it.
Okay, that sounds good. Now I can't ignore this. The Logos Publishing. Do you have any affiliation with that?
Well, he wrote a book as well.
Okay.
Right, and that's off his publishing company. My publishing company is Maroon Publishing.
Okay.
Right, it's the Maroon Publishing. Now, and this came about when I was reading some books, and I actually read about when they was bringing the slaves from Africa, and they was stopping in the islands, and they was trying to break them, but some of them ran away. And so when they ran away, the Dutch was saying, oh, they sent them Maroons, like they stranded, we're gonna leave them. Right, so they like runaway slaves, right? And it's still right now, it's a tribe in Jamaica right now that's called the Maroons, because they actually ran to the hills and they actually formed a whole community, and they live right to this day, right? But when I read the concept, now I read a little bit more on it now, but when I first read the concept, I was like, man, I like that. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to free the people. I'm trying to free their minds, right? Because we are slaves to our lower selves, right? Most people are slaves to their stomach, and they're slaves to their sex drive, right? We know one thing: we want to eat, we're gonna eat, and we want to have sex, we want to have sex, right? And I always compare it to Harriet Tubman. So Harriet Tubman, she went down south and she brought the slaves up north, right? So my attempt in these books is to go down south, right, to free them people from themselves, from their sex drive, from their hunger drive, and bring them up north to their brain and to their heart, right, with a better belief system, right? And once you start believing better, you can start doing better.
Man, that sounds real good, man. That's a lot. We probably do this over again, you know what I mean? Because like, you got so much we're trying to compact in about 10 minutes. But if the people want to connect with you, with your publishing company, or your books, or anything that you're doing in the future, any future books you write, how can they contact you?
Well, I mean, they can contact me on Instagram at MaroonLife44, Facebook, Marc Bazaldua, right? My name. I don't want to do the Mike Jones thing, give up my cell phone.
Okay, but hey, however you do it. So
no, I'm cool.
That's cool. So one last time, We Ship Picks. You all heard the story. Very inspirational. He didn't write it for the money. You definitely wrote it, you know what I mean, for your son and for, you know, your situation. And you just want to share it with everybody else to elevate their mindset. Any last words you want to give the people out there?
Just stay up, right? it's Ramadan for me, right? So I just want to say Ramadan Mubarak to the people. You know what I'm saying? For those who know, they know.
Sounds good. This broadcast Houston is We Should Picks, man. Y'all support it.